Global Community Radio Station. And this is what you hear every day from noon till 2. Don't miss the Cheryl Underwood Show.
It's the jump off. Welcome to the Cheryl Underwood Show. Hot topics. We discussing anything. It's a go. We going live now. Got a favorite song? Call into the show. Is he ready? Yep. 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go.
That's what I'm talking about. Cheryl Underwood Radio. It is a great
That's
day.
it. Cheryl, I was so excited to see two great stars out here, to come back home. Both are from North Carolina. One is from Fayetteville, and Chris Paul is from the Winston-Salem area. But they came to Fayetteville State at HBCU and marched with the kids to take them to go vote. It was wonderful to see our brothers, encourage people to vote. It's very nice. Very nice.
Fantastic. Big Frost, you say what?
Anytime a celebrity comes to Fayetteville is a great honor. And especially for this cause. I thought it was absolutely fantastic, and we love that kind of thing here in Fayetteville.
You are listening to KUAW Radio, home of the all-new Jamal Bakes Show, and I'm Jamal Bakes, and thank you so very much for listening to the station bringing you talk, news, entertainment that you won't get anywhere else. KUAW, in, of, and about our community.
This is comedian Janelle Banks, and you are listening to KUAW, Kansas City.
This weekend on Blues Time in the City.
If you didn't see him, you'd think he was a black dude playing.
That's the late, great Bo Diddley. We went to the Blues Archive Vault and downloaded some Bo. Very interesting what he's talking about this weekend. And Bobby Rush's birthday is Tuesday the 10th. He will perform one of his past performances live this weekend. Join me on Rosine Bailey for Blues Time in the City this weekend right here.
KUAW listeners, this is Carl Boyd for Wave Your Grades, coming to you every Saturday from 1 until 2 p.m. right here on KUAW. This program features American students striving for excellence in honor of our troops and American veterans, encouraging American students. Please join us every Saturday from 1 until 2 p.m. right here on KUAW.
Now on the air in Kansas City, the Cheryl Underwood Show.
We are proud to be part of the KUAW family.
The Cheryl Underwood Show. Weekdays Monday through Friday at 12 noon. KUAW around the world on KUAW.org.
Todd Tribbett, we gonna be all right here on the Jamal Bakes Show. I'm your brother in Christ, Jamal Bakes. Thank you all so very much for hanging out with me, fam, for another weekend, all right? We've got a big show for you, man. As always, the Rose Show Live will be here with her Faith Move next. And we talked to my man, the Laugh Therapist, later on in the show. We've got music on the way from Doe. We've got Corinne Hawthorne, Keandra Lockett, brand new William McDowell. Cannot wait to share that one with you as well, all right? And a whole lot more. Listen, follow me right now on social media.
Bank of Blue Valley is a proud sponsor of KUAW Radio. At Bank of Blue Valley, we believe that an understanding of financial value sets individuals up for a strong future. Whether you want to talk about checking and savings accounts, review lending alternatives, or discuss starting your own business, we have the right people to listen and advise. Visit us at bankbv.com to get started today. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
All right, you're listening to KUAW Radio, Kansas City's global community radio station. We don't only bring you videos on Facebook and YouTube, but listen to our audio only, where you'll get shows like Cheryl Underwood and Blues Time in the City. You can pick us up at www.kuaw.org or go to the TuneIn app and search KUAW. Listen to us. We're on 24 hours a day. That's KUAW Radio, Kansas City's global community radio station. And this is what you hear every day from noon till 2. Don't miss the Cheryl Underwood Show.
It's the jump off. Welcome to the Cheryl Underwood Show. Hot topics. We discussing anything. It's a go. We going live now. Got a favorite song? Call into the show. Is he ready? Yep. 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go.
That's what I'm talking about. Cheryl Underwood Radio. It is a great
That's
day.
it. Cheryl, I was so excited to see two great stars out here, to come back home. Both are from North Carolina. One is from Fayetteville, and Chris Paul is from the Winston-Salem area. But they came to Fayetteville State at HBCU and marched with the kids to take them to go vote. It was wonderful to see our brothers, encourage people to vote. It's very nice, very nice.
Welcome to Girl Talk. I'm your host, Miss E. I'm joined with my co-host, the outraged Thurman Davis. I don't think they can hear you. You got to put your mouth.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. I always wanted to know, when they put that disclaimer up, whose thoughts and opinions of it is it? Okay. I just want to get that clear. Because it always seems like, okay. But I was just joking. I want to say thank you all for wishing me happy birthday. I wish I would donate to my organization, G.R.Y.L, because we're trying to get some things done for the domestic violence resource center that we have going. So it'd be great if everybody can just, go to my page and make a donation, 5, 10, it doesn't matter, or volunteer to do some work. We have an exciting show today. At least I think it's exciting. We're going to talk about some of the things that's happening here in the city. Can you see yourself there? We're going to talk about some of the things that's happening in the city. We want to get started with the local election. Let's talk about the local election. I'm going to start with you, Thurman. Who were the winners in the local election?
Did anybody win? Did anybody win, or did we all?
I don't think we really won. Like you said, people did win. Candidates did win. But I think some of the candidates that won, we really didn't win, because we sent back almost all the incumbent state representatives that never represented us, in the first place. And that with itself is a total loss when people don't do their homework. They just send them back in because they're on a yellow sheet of paper, because people are too lazy to do their research on them. People are asked the golden question, tell me who your state representative is. Nobody's been able to tell me. I said, tell me who your state senator is. Nobody's been able to tell me. I said, tell me who your city council men and women are that represented you, all 6 at large. Nobody's been able to tell me. So what are we paying attention to?
That yellow and black sheet that you get at election.
Yeah, I mean, that's even crazy. Then they had other people making duplicates of it under another name. They didn't even know the research they were doing. But I'm going to tell you one of the most asinine things that I've seen, where the people were voting, we have a thing against KCPD, FOP, and the prosecutor race, right? But they talked how bad Gene Peters Baker is, Mean Gene. But they voted in numbers to maintain her. And some of the same organizations that have been fighting against her voted to maintain her. So what's going on with that?
They have it both ways. I'm like, look, I'm looking at this stuff from this election that was on this ballot. I'm talking about the amendments and everything.
I don't think that people understood the amendments, because if they understood the amendments, they would have understood that it was no except for the question, which should have been yes. But they voted to raise taxes. They voted to keep a statue.
Voted to keep both Andrew Jackson statue, the one downtown in Jackson County.
Well, they should have voted. But they should have voted to keep that, Thurman, because we represent racism and anything that's a part of that. They should have voted to keep that.
Voted yes on the 911 tax for your cell phone, because they said that a lot of people nobody really have the landline. So
let's text the people. And you already have a lot of taxes on there, right? Mm-hmm. I think that, I always tell people, make Google your friend. Make Google your friend. I mean, you have plenty of time to research these candidates, and you didn't do it. So now people want to sit back and complain and jaw-jock, and put all this stuff in it. But it's your fault, because you voted them in. So with that being said, everybody was so fixated on just the presidential election. Well, what people don't understand, the president is one vote. the president does not run the United States of America. Only since white supremacy has been pushing his agenda has he been able to run a strong, without the Congress. You had an opportunity to turn that Congress around, because it's going to be very hard to turn it around when you don't have people that vote like you.
Yeah, especially.
I think that they should learn the levels of government. They don't teach that anymore. City, state, federal. Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
So people don't know.
Because one, you reverse cream majority. The majority of the things
Oh my God.
people voted on 2 years ago, basically you dismantled cream majority. You decided, oh yes, the lawmakers should be able to.
No, the governor. The governor picks that, doesn't he? He puts some people. Don't he assign the people to that?
Yes.
And the governor already made this.
I think he assigned 20 people to a board or whatever.
Yeah, the governor does that. He's already said. The governor's already said that he's going to have a strong police force. Strong police force. So I don't think you guys really knew what y'all were doing. And yeah, the injustice that y'all have been, that y'all just elected back in. So if you think these 4 years was hard, the next 4 years is going to be really, really hard.
Yeah, and then you got a group that was threatening people, talking about they're going to come out here and do going to do a petition drive to recall the mayor. Really
I'm not out of respect for the mayor's mama, I'm not going to hit quitting, because there's so many things I could say, but I'm not going to even touch that one right now, because sometimes we set ourselves up for that. You can't be swinging on both sides of the fence.
And then you got now, I've heard the group talk about they're going to come out and want to do a petition, get the city for a petition drive to possibly do local control of the police department.
Well, they're going to have to do something, because every senator that was elected, not every senator, but the ones for Kansas, made a statement that he is all in force of a strong police force, and so we're going to be in trouble. But what I don't understand, this is what I don't understand, and maybe, Walker, y'all feel to join in too if y'all want to, but how could the Hispanics, Latinos vote for Trump and their children are in cages and all of that, and they've been displaced? Seems like they've taken on the same mentality that we as former slave, what do you say, we're people, our former generation of slave owners, and we've been held slaves for so long, we took on their same mentality. But how could they do that? I mean, what's your opinion on that? You would think that they would be the first one that says no to Trump, and supporting him. But Texas just went all off the chain, I mean, what do y'all think about that? I guess nobody thinks.
Well, one thing is a lot of times we look at the Hispanic or the Latinos as one group. Now in Florida, what he appealed to were those that come from Venezuela, come from places that have been
Cuba,
going through communism. So that right-wing thought really appeals to them. We can't look at them as one, in Texas you've got more Hispanics from Mexico, but if you go to Florida, they're not from Mexico. That's a different group. So
you have a
when
bunch
you
of them
say,
from
well,
Cuba,
when they push that socialism thought out there, that's what resonated in their mind.
Well, that should be even been worse, because we left the Cubans in the water for how long? You know what I'm saying? We left them babies, them women, and the men and women and children in the waters. I mean, did we forget about that?
But since you're there, Puerto Rico voted for Trump, and didn't Trump when they got hit with the hurricane, Trump basically told them that they're not even part of the United States.
That's what I'm saying. Is there drugs in all the waters and stuff that we drinking? Because there's no way that you leave a whole continent of people in the water and wouldn't even give them life boats or you go, the things to save them, and then you turn around and vote for. But I think it's just as crazy as we as black people fighting to go to school and be taught by our enemies. Nothing's as crazy as that. That's really, really crazy. And then we're not even, right now, we're going to lose a whole generation of children through education because of the virtual schooling and them not getting it. Every day that I come out, I see children everywhere that should be in school and they're outside playing or doing something else. But when I go through the plaza, I go through Midtown over the Catholic churches, schools, you see children, white kids going to school. You know what I'm saying? So we're not fighting for anything, we're just going along with the whatever's given to us. So I think that, parents should be fighting harder, but especially for black children to have schools open, because we learn by touching, and by participating. We're going to have children that's going to have carpal tunnel in their arms, their hands, their bad eyesight, anxiety. I mean, with no social skills. I mean, we're not even looking what we're having. We have an opportunity now to be homeschooling. And if you don't know how to homeschool, it's groups that can come together and homeschool.
And I'm like, for the Mexicans that voted for Trump, I guess y'all forgot this person, the president, called y'all drug dealers, criminals, and rapists. See, that's what he thinks of the Mexicans.
Yeah. Because that's what he is himself. So he can only call what he is himself. But people's like, hey, he came up with a platinum plan. That sounds like he want to be a hip hop artist. What kind of platinum plan do you bring to citizens of the United States and people go for it and you don't even know what it is? He says, well, I've done more for black people than Abraham Lincoln did. And Abraham Lincoln didn't free nobody. He fed the people that he wasn't even over. So what does that say? Lord help us.
I don't know. Some people, I don't know this. Some people just sell out for $1,200.
They're not going to even get that. The stimulus money. They might as well kiss that. But do you see what he said? They got to pay income tax on it. They got to pay income tax on that money that they receive. Nothing in life is free. Nothing in life is free. And when we talk about, oh my God, I don't even want to get on this, but for some reason, I'm gonna talk about this. We have a new city manager, right? We have a new city manager that was hired by the mayor without the council knowing that the highest paid position in the city was filled before he went to a vote before the council. They knew he broke charter, but nobody has stood up and said, you broke charter, let's sue. So what does that say? They had qualified black people. He had an opportunity to hire a qualified black woman. All of them had over 20 years of experience. He gets one with 2 years. Yes. And then the next day, he quit and says, oh, I didn't know that he had put in the paper that he was hired. The man had already quit his job, enrolled his children in school, and was walking the streets with quitting in the neighborhoods the next day. Come on now. People need to wake up. The city manager is stepping into a really, really big time where they have to cut all the budgets across there. He has no experience. He has no experience with the airport. They asked him, they said, what do you think about the airport? He said, I just know I just go in and out of them. Y'all better start making Channel 2 your friend. And you can watch it live on YouTube. Because what we got going down at that city hall is ridiculous. $45 million for a soccer field, and you cut the budget by $50 million. Come on, people. We got to wake up. We got to wake up, and we got to make our city work for us.
Yeah, because I don't know when did we become a dictatorship? I'm like,
when did we not even follow charter? And they can get you on charter when you don't follow charter, but when they don't follow charter, it doesn't mean anything. I mean, like I say all the time, the war on women is real. $498,000 went to Rosebrooks for bathroom remodeling, and nothing went to domestic violence. I mean, people wake up. People need to wake up. $300,000 went to New Haven for elevators and a roof. When have you ever seen an elevator in a domestic violence shelter? I'm waiting. So if y'all got something that y'all want to talk about, hit me up. If you want to join us for a few minutes on here, you can. Just let me know that you want to come on here and say something, because this is your time to be able to discuss what you want to discuss, or we can keep going on, because I'm at the point, I'm just outraged, because I think I'm paying attention to what's going on and I'm watching what's going on. One of the biggest things that I am very, very want to bring to everybody's attention is that, they had an ordinance go in, Councilman Ellington had an ordinance go in that he was wanted to dissolve Aim for Peace to create a citizen of engagement where the monies will be spread to several organizations or individuals that actually have their foot on the ground doing the work. Well, they've read it 5 times. He brought in mountains of evidence where they had committed fraud, they had committed, they weren't doing the work, and we know with 155 murders, they're not addressing the issues. Well, today, they went into closed session and pushed it back again to December. How much time do you need to know that $3 million that's given to an organization that's not working, and proof that they are not doing what they need to do? How much proof do you have? And then the city fights for it. Quentin Lucas moved it over to several different committees because he was trying to make sure that somebody said, let's throw it out the door. Y'all should be outraged. Outraged about this. Like I said, none of that money went to domestic violence or anything. That money went to Rosebrooks and New Havens. Why? Because they're white organizations that have white people on the board, and that's what moves our city. And okay, T, I thought you wanted to come on, but that's what moves our city. The corporations is what moves our city. And until y'all find out who y'all 12 elected officials are, and start demanding that they bring some of that money in the urban core, which we're not going to even be here, because some of our own black real estate companies have taken properties on 39th Street, different areas, College, Agnes, name it, whatever, and made the houses $175,000, $150,000. We work against our own. We work against our own people, and nobody's really upset about it. So not only is it gentrification, but it's us selling us out also. I see Brother Charles is on here. We want to give a shout out to Brother Charles. If you want to come on, let me know, Charles. He's walking with a cane now. Charles had total knee replacement. And so to be walking with a cane now after about close to a month, maybe 3 weeks, that's really good, So, what?
Yeah, the rehab is working. I'm like,
the rehab or the medication. The medication makes him think he can fly.
It could be the rehab. It could be, could be the meds.
No, the rehab is working, and that's one of the things that's more important. But the people that can't have that done because they don't have insurance, or won't ever be able to have that type of service. Another thing I'm going to talk about is that, with the COVID, it makes it very hard for us to give donations to people, especially people that are in need, because we can't give clothing out because we really don't know where the clothing is coming from, we don't know if it's been cleaned prior to us being dropped off, because a lot of times when people give you stuff, they want to just take it out of their closets and just give it to you. They don't think about cleaning it up. They just want to get it out of their house. So G.R.Y.L has stopped taking donations on used clothing unless it comes clean. But when we think about that, what about the homeless people that's on the streets that can no longer come in for hot meals? Where are they going? If they can't get hot meals or anything, or some places still are serving hot meals, but I don't let them do Thanksgiving dinners the way that they normally do the Thanksgiving and Christmas dinners. So where are they going to go? Who's thinking about them?
You're going to have in this climate, you're gonna have different things that go on. A lot of places will not be doing their traditional Thanksgiving dinner. You're gonna have people doing maybe curbside.
But if you don't have a car, transportation, how you going to ask? How you going to attend a curbside giveaway?
Either you could do a walk up.
A lot of them don't let you do walk ups.
Well, that's where some of these soup kitchens kick in.
But how you going to have a soup kitchen when they don't allow you to have a soup kitchen? I guess what I'm trying to say is that we are going to have to go against what they are telling us to do to be more in tune to the needs of those that need us. You know what I'm saying? We just can't say, okay, because the COVID comes, we can't feed our brothers and sisters. We just let them have to starve. We have to let them sleep on the street. We just can't provide for them. And so we turn heartless. You know, we turn heartless and we just walk around and not see them anymore. I know for us, Councilman Ellington is still doing his dinner, but we relied on the donations of the basketball games. You know, where the community supported these events that we did, and that's what made it so awesome. Is that we were able to continue doing that. Charles just put on here that they have a food distribution giveaway November the 14th at Brush Creek Community Center, 11 to 2, sponsored by Councilman Ellington. And that's the harvest. Now, is that Thanksgiving, Charles, or is that the regular giveaway?
I think that's Thanksgiving. That's 2 weeks before, because Thanksgiving's on the 26th.
Well, we always did Thanksgiving at Wednesday. So what is the 14th, Charles? Is the 14th a regular giveaway, or is it the dinner?
I think it would be Thanksgiving.
How you gonna do Thanksgiving 2 weeks ahead of time, Thurman?
Because it's inside that window where the basketball can be.
So, Charles, if you know, let us know. Which one is it? Is it the Thanksgiving dinner, or is it just a regular? Because they do giveaway. What day is that?
What?
On the 14th.
It's a Saturday.
A Saturday?
It's a Saturday.
Wow, I'm confused. So I guess I need a little bit more information on that because I don't really know about what's going on with that one. You know, on a Saturday from 11 to 2. I don't know about that one.
Yeah, it's a Saturday. Because I know for a fact there's another one on the 21st. I know that, and also I know that, you know, Christmas. People are already around here talking about Christmas. Christmas will be something you ain't never seen before, because you're gonna have malls that will not have mall Santa Claus. Santa will not be letting these kids sit on their laps. You will not. I guess Rudolph will not be
making an appearance. Well, I guess that's one thing we can say about Trump. Let's look at the things that he did do. Okay, he got rid of organized religion. He closed the churches. He got rid of education. He closed the schools. He got rid of the soap kitchens. I mean, the soup kitchens and the food given to the needy and the poor. He got rid of Christmas. He got rid of Easter. You know, he got rid of the 4th of July. He got rid of all the holidays. He got rid of the families. You know, if you went outside the home, you couldn't come back in. He got rid of the nursing home visits from the people. You know, he got rid of a whole lot of things. So we have to say that Trump got rid of a lot of things. What?
2 weeks before Thanksgiving.
Charles said it's 2 weeks before to help families, and we plan to cook for Thanksgiving dinner. So I think what Charles is saying is that they're doing They're doing one giveaway and one dinner. So they're going to give people, I guess, the fixings for Thanksgiving
so
dinner.
I figure the dinner is gonna be what, the 25th.
The dinner's always that Wednesday,
Yeah,
so they're going to give it.
25th of November.
Yeah. So I knew that was right. So thank you, Charles, for saying that. But getting back to what all that Trump got rid of, he got rid of the gyms. He got rid of everything, the movies. Everything that people took for entertainment, took for pleasure, took for spirituality. Trump got rid of it. But the thing about it is, we can't get rid of Trump because it's more people that have malice in their hearts than it's people that really want to do something.
But I'm like, people are out here.
He got rid of women's rights. I mean, he's got how many sexual lawsuits against him?
Especially when you have a president who has the Department of Justice protecting him as his lawyer.
Well, he's smart though, because he stacked the judges, the Supreme Court. He stacked them with his people. And when has a man been able to have that much power? Obama did more or less, and they had him up on all kind of charges that they wanted to put against him for impeachment and
Just
everything.
like today, Trump had sick the Department of Justice on the state of Michigan, wanting Michigan to shut down the counting of the election.
He don't want the votes to be counted.
No.
He said, "What if they go somewhere and they find 300 or 400 thousand votes? That we're not going to count them votes." And I'm thinking, okay, you're not going to count the votes, so now we just stop where you want us to stop at? My God, what happened to the for the people? The government is supposed to be for the people, and if it's not, you're supposed to.
The Constitution got thrown out the window a couple of years ago. We're working on something else.
But it is important to notice that he has let more people out of the jails reform. And he believes in strong policing and letting them out so they can be recaptured.
Okay, yeah, he may, but then you got this other group running right here. I guess Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter was created. Black Lives Matter was created just like the NAACP. It was not created by us for us. They use us. Everybody use poor, undereducated, unintelligent people for their causes. And if you believe that Black Lives Matters has your interests as a black man, do you believe that?
No.
Why?
Because I'm like, is anybody gonna be around when the police is sitting around harassing us when we get pulled over for absolutely nothing because you're black, you're in a black neighborhood, you probably driving a nice car.
Oh, you could be walking, baby. You don't have to be driving no more.
Yeah.
You could be walking. Didn't you see that young man that was walking with his son? Mm-hmm. And the police stopped him, and then they wanted to know why he was walking?
Or like right now, you got the girl that went down to the police board of commissioners meeting and talk, and now
let's talk about that.
The video has went viral on Facebook.
Okay. Okay. But I mean, she's the only one that was down there really that did her homework because she had something to say about each one.
The rest of them was written and raving.
Yeah, the rest of them, yeah, because you have to hit them, but none of them's done what they should have done, and that's virtually they can go and file charges for the peace officer's license if they violated it, and then that way they could be taken off the force. But we're talking about that. One of the officers been charged with, I know it was 61 year charges, and he's black, gridiron. He is one of the mayor's security people. Let's talk about that.
So he's on the mayor's detail.
Yeah, yeah. All the charges that he has against him, from sexual harassment to allegations of force, all the times he's been brought up, and they found no. What does they do when they find it? They say we don't find enough charges. You know, we a body don't even consider a charge.
They did an investigation and they found nothing.
Nothing. He is now on the mayor's detail. So Quentin Lucas, it claims that he supports women, but you will have one of the ones with more allegations against him as one of your security forces. Says a lot. Says a lot. Charles says Trump is gone. You just want that $20, you know, because they have a bet there for $20, and I got 5 on it that Trump is gone.
Well, now you have this girl who went down to police board of commissioner meeting. She's getting harassed by the police now. She has, I guess, asked for protection.
Don't be looking at me.
She's asked for protection. And also I've heard that members of her family has been harassed by the police department.
You know, the police are just thugs. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the way that they're going like that is just thugs. Because that young lady said nothing that would warrant police following her. Nothing she said. She just talked about the menswear suit was true. He needed a haircut. She talked about that. But the thing she said, it was nothing for somebody to want to kill you over. You know, I mean, I don't think it was anything. It'd be different if she said, oh, I seen you with 5 different people and one was a pig. You know, or something like that, sleeping with them or something that was, I don't see it. I don't see why they will be doing that. No. Probably just to discourage her.
As bad as a certain somebody running around here who calls them a lawyer and decided she's going to go full throttle against the police department.
Yeah, but she sat back down too. Because see, you can't get in this game and think that you know that you could be angry, you could call people all kind of names, you could do all this, and it's going to move them. I've learned this. You have to hit them on policy and procedure. You cannot just go around with your feelings because see, these people, they're not moved by feelings, you know, because feelings not going to get nobody out of office. But policy and procedures will get them out of office. Somebody said, somebody has protection from who? That group, Charles, from the police department. But the group, what is that? NF something, A something. The group out of Chicago, they offered her protection, I guess. I don't know. Something I read about that. But for the police for following her and
because there's a video going around Facebook of her in the apartment complex, I guess the State or whatever, that she basically you could hear her in there talk about you could see the squad car. You would she mentions the unit, the squad car's the car number, and said the squad car has been followed around. She has seen this squad car 3 times, and even mentioned the white female in the passenger seat of this vehicle.
But you know what's so strange? That doesn't necessarily have to be the police. That could be somebody that the police has hired to do this dirty work. Because, you know, we have a lot of people missing. And I don't take any of this as a joke or anything because we have a lot of black people that's missing. And so if they can get those cars to look just like policemen, you know, right around. I'm not saying the police don't know. Police could have hired them, you know, could have had them out there because we know that sometimes when they catch somebody that may be running around with somebody dirty and he catches the case, he becomes their worker. You know, we know that the snitches live right within you. You know what I'm saying? So they could have used them. Charles says, Charles, do you want to come on? He says, you have to be from the street to understand the street. From that is why Miss Shaw is quiet now. Yes, it could be. It could be because now she's been threatened with her license being taken. It could be that the people that's from the streets never wanted to be in the streets. You know, that's something that they glorified and say, you know, I'm from the streets. Nobody wants to be in the street. You got to be an idiot to be wanting to be in the street. Because from what I've seen now, and not to say that my era was a little bit different, but we had real gangsters, and real gangsters was loved by the community. Real gangsters didn't whip up on their community. They didn't use their community, and they didn't allow nobody else to come into our community to use us. Now we got these I don't even know what you call them, demons going around shooting children, killing women, women setting up men. I mean, it's going both ways. We don't have anybody that's human, and we're not doing human being things. We're doing human things, but we're not doing human being things. And one of the things that Charles brought up is about people from the streets. When you not from a certain area, and it could be in the city, from where you live and grew up on 12th Street is different how people live and grow up on 39th Street. 39th Street is different from how people grow up on 59th Street. It's a culture that we have within our own culture. So when you have somebody that's not from the streets telling you let's do a protest with no visible means behind it, and you just have a bunch of angry people doing different things. I know for me, and I'm not trying to dog nobody, because nobody's what they do, because I believe everybody has the right to express themselves. But when you talk about something as serious as police brutality, you can't be out there having dance-offs. You know, you can't be out there in costumes. You know, this is really serious. You have to stay focused. You know, you just can't have all those things mingling. I don't want to get into it, because I don't want to talk about that, because I mean it gets really deep. Because what I've seen is a group of young people that really was looking for an opportunity to get involved in the community, and they have been misled by several organizations, not just one organization, but several organizations that maybe only have one or two people, have never had new leadership since the prior leaders left. Last 20 years. And these young people thinking they're being used, because see, they're not sitting down at the table with them when they're negotiating. They out there running their mouths, going to jail. And that's something else I wanted to talk about. When they say we're gonna get you out of jail, that's no guarantee, because see, once you labeled a terrorist, you don't get out of jail. They can hold you for years and years, and you don't have to make bond. So people need to learn, you're not going to go in there and get slapped on your hand and come back out. They get enough charges on you, you don't get no more student aid, you get no more public housing, you get no more driver license. Let them keep putting those things on you, because see, that becomes federal. It becomes federal. It's no longer just a little city charges once you've been labeled a terrorist. So be very careful about the people that you're hanging around with, because some of those people are there to set you up.
Well, you have some that even got bans on them from when they got arrested in the plaza. They have bans on them that they can't come into the plaza anymore.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, some of them, that was a stipulation into their agreement.
I didn't know that. You know, I mean, because some of those people that was on the plaza doing some of that stuff were planners. They weren't people that was actually there for a good cause. They were people up there to upset, like the people that may be going down there tonight. When have black people ever went to after election to protest? Tell me. Anybody know? When's the last time? Tonight may be the first time, huh? They should have took the butts out there to vote. Then they wouldn't be protesting, because they would understood that little piece of paper that they followed is the reason that we're in this condition. What happened? What, Charles? I don't understand what you're talking about. What happened? I don't know. Maybe that medication's kicking off, you think?
But yeah, you know, you got people out here protesting. You have certain businesses that are boarded up right now. I know I was at one of the businesses today down on 31st and Prospect, the Foot Action, which is across the street from the library, Bluefield Library, is shuttered. It's been shuttered since yesterday. They boarded it up, and they're not letting anyone in, and it's closed or whatever. And that's because of the election.
No, that's not because of election. That's because of enticement. They want to entice people to act up. They want to entice people to think about doing these things. These companies are insured. You know, they don't want to be in business there anymore. So we can come up by filing a major claim. But I'm telling folks, if you tear up and allow people to come in your own community and tear up, shame on you. Because that's what we did with Black Lives Matter. When we down there with Black Lives Matter, I should have caught that on. I should have caught that one on camera. But Thurman almost came out of the chair. But we didn't do that. We didn't do that. Depends on what they're calling about. Don't set me up. Hello?
Okay, caller, go ahead.
I didn't hear nothing.
Go ahead, caller.
I can hear you, but I can't hear them.
Hi, I was calling in because I wanted to comment on something that I just heard Miss E say. Can I speak or?
Go ahead, caller.
Okay. Hi, my name is Latara Smith, and I just wanted to come back and I wanted to just kind of piggyback in on something that I heard Miss E say when she spoke about not prosecutors, but protests. The different people, the different groups that are holding these protests. And I just wanted to share that it is very important that these groups who are protesting with the purpose, and not just protesting with the purpose, but also bringing forth action before and after the protest that's going to make a difference in the community. If they're not doing that, it doesn't make any sense to even protest. And so I just wanted to piggyback on that because I heard Ms. E, mention the different groups and the protesting. And that's very important. And it's very important also that these groups who are going out protesting will study the policy, protocol, and procedures of the organizations, or if they're going out to protest about the police department and problems with the police department, then they need to learn their policy and protocol and procedures so that they can call those things out when those individuals who work for that office is not following their own rules and regulations.
And I think
that's very, very important for them to know.
I think that's one of the things that Ms. Smith does, and I my hands always go up for her and accolades because she studies that. She just doesn't jump out of there. She has very, very successful protests because they have a mission and they have a purpose and they know what they're going to get, and that's what I've been trying to tell these young people, to call people like Latora that's out there risking her life for many, many years, doing this. She didn't jump up and say, hey, I just want to do this overnight. I'm going to go down there and make a show out of it. It's very organized, and they have a purpose, an ending and a beginning of what they want to do. We get our people together with good intentions, bad organizations, but because we don't want to talk about these organizations, we don't want to call them out, then we allow our children and our generation of children to upcome to follow behind them. And that's what I've been saying for many, many years. That, these organizations is why we're in the condition that we're in. You can't have 20 years of service and nobody knows who you are. That's icing out. And to be able to say, I've been an elected official for 20-some years, and all I did was name a highway partially after someone. I mean, everybody's gone quiet. But, when you start calling people out, people get upset. People get upset, and they say, well, how can you call them out? Because I'm sick and tired of seeing what I'm seeing. I'm sick and tired of going along just to go along. I'm never going to go along just to go along. That's never going to happen, and I have several people that have asked me, Miss E, can you help me? But they don't want to do anything. And that's the first thing to get you in trouble if you think somebody else is going to lead you. Because if I'm going to lead you, I'm going to be in control of you. The knowledge is power, and you should seek it from the cradle to the grave. But you should have enough wisdom to know when you're going against your own grain. You should know that. But what I'm seeing is these people come out and they say, we can do this. And then they get discouraged because they can't do nothing. You can't do nothing if you don't know policy and procedure. You can't do nothing if you don't know what the outcome, because it's going to be a reaction for everything that you do. When I first started with Voices of the People, we went up against the police department. I had charges brought up against me that were made up. So I know how dirty the police are. But did it stop me from speaking out? No, it didn't. It did not stop me from speaking out and going up against them and telling everybody, lottie-dottie, everybody what I knew. Because it is what it is. I don't care if people don't like me, but I'm going to make sure that I'm fighting for mine. You know what I'm saying? And every mother and everybody else should be doing the same thing. Yes, the police are gangsters, but you call yourself a gangster, so you got to gangster up. You cannot fight the truth. You can fight lies all day long, but truth will prevail if you stand. And nothing is worse than having a bunch of people right here in this city that has been promoting putting us on life support. Freedom Inc. has put us on life support because we have allowed it. I watched people put that paper in their hand yesterday. I told them when I walked up there, they gave it to me. I told them I don't support Freedom Inc. And I don't, because you should be doing your homework before you get to the polls. You don't see the West of Truth with people sitting on polls. Only in the black community do we take these papers and don't know who the heck we're going to vote for until we go to the polls. Shame on you. Shame on you. That's just shame on you. And there's so many different things that I've been fighting. I can't fight everything. And I definitely can't fight with people that's not willing to stand up and fight for themselves. That's not going to happen. Because if you're not willing to take a lick, I'm not going to stand there and take a lick for you. That's not going to happen. But if you're willing to get in there and want to learn, then it's great people that I know that can help you. If you want to learn about what's the protest, talk to LaTora Smith. That woman has put her life on the line and been threatening everything else. And nothing happened. She was the first one I heard call out Jean Peters Baker. Wasn't she?
Yeah.
For wrongful convictions and all that. And that woman's still standing. You need to seek out those that's doing something. Those that's coming around and say, hey, today we're going to hold hands and we're going to have a... No, baby, it don't work like that. It don't work like that. You're not going to have a showdown. You're going to be doing what you're doing now, hiding and trying to retract your action. Because one thing you do, when you out here fighting and you believe in what you're fighting for, you're unapologetic about it. Unapologetic about it. I'm never going to say I'm sorry for what you did for me wrong. I'm never going to stand there and make myself look like I was built on a lie. What you did was wrong, and I'm not going to say I'm sorry for your actions. And I'm not going to take it where I'm scared because of what you may do to me. You can follow me all day long, because as you follow me, I'm following you too. But what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to sit there and cuss you out. I'm not going to sit there and do all those things. You have to learn to control your emotions. You have to learn to control your emotions. While you sitting there, they know they got you when you start flipping out at the mouth. I never cussed them out. I just knew I was showing up at every meeting that they was at, every public meeting that they was at, and I was bringing my case to the people. I'm not going to sit there and call people a bunch of names and think I'm going to go in front of the people, because what they're going to do, they're going to use that very language against you. And people are not going to come out of their comfort zone to support you. You're not going to see me on TV smoking weed, drinking, and doing all that stuff, and then come and saying that the police is beating me up. No, you're not going to see that. You're going to see me going to church. You're going to see me with little bitty kids doing stories and mentoring and all that stuff. I'm going to show you who I am. I'm not to say that even if you do that, that doesn't degrade you from needing help, but it makes your case harder to prove. Because first of all, people don't want to get involved. So when you're in there calling the police all kind of names and cussing them out, well, you have people, you have good cops too. You have good cops that come from good families. But then you have those military style police that don't like black people. They've never been around black people. They were sent here to destroy you. So you have to figure it out. And you have to learn from those that know. You cannot learn the game by just jumping into the game. That's not going to happen. And when you're talking about something that is so serious that can get you jail time, You need to know what you're doing and what you're giving out, because I'm quite sure those people that's in front of you is not going to be homeless. They're not going to go for any social aid. They're not going to be trying to get jobs, careers. They're not going to be trying to get their children fed or put in there. That's what you're getting ready to lose. So you have to say, am I willing to go against this on some BS? You know, you have to say, I'm willing to do this. And then you have to be true, because see, when you have people that's been in the game, people that know the streets, we know that you're not going to have a whole line of tents flying down the streets with bodies in them. So we know you're not spending the night if you wake up in the morning and 12th Street is full with tents. Tents don't move with bodies in them, you know. But, and then the people that, you know, I'm not saying everybody didn't, but common sense say you wasn't. You don't have a protest with no meaning. You know, you have to have a cause. And then you have to find out who's coming at you all of a sudden wanting to be your friend to put you in. And these organizations do not support the community. No matter how they come at you and tell you that you're good and you out of that, they're using you, because see, they're not going to lose their grant money. They're not going to lose their connection. They're not going to cuss out the people that you're cussing out, because the negotiations is going to come to them. It's not going to come to you, because they're not going to talk to you cussing, hollering, and screaming. They're going to go to the people and make the deals, and then they're going to sit down like the 50 ministers that went in there saying, get rid of Rick Smith. Then they went behind closed doors and said, we're going to work on reform. You know, churches should never get involved in this unless they're going to be for real about it. That's my opinion. Thurman?
I'm like, yeah, I agree with you, because you got some people that sit here and follow this little group of supposed to be called activists, revolutionaries, or whatever. Wherever.
See, when you start, I'm laughing, because when you start naming yourself, and this is what you go for, now you talking about a job, okay? No true activist has ever told you I'm an activist. No true person that's in leadership has stood up and said I'm your leader. Black people are groomed for leaders, okay? Instead of self-thinking, we want to put all in a jar, so only one portion of us benefits from it. We're all leaders. No white kid is brought up and their mother and daddy tells them, go find a leader. You don't hear white people say that, but you hear black people say, we have nobody speaking up for us. It's time for you to speak up for yourself. It's time for you to do what you need to do. I was not raised to have somebody speak for me. I was not raised for somebody to do what I needed to do. Maybe that makes me a little bit different, okay? Maybe that makes me stand out a little bit, because I'll stand up for mine. If I fall, I fall. But I want to say this. Everything they've been fighting for, that police reform. Everything. When Brandon was a state rep, Brandon had all those things written up in bills. Not one of y'all people that's been out there arguing, complaining, whining, marching, none of y'all supported that. None of y'all. You cannot change it at the city level. That is a state issue. But none of y'all supported it. Even now, when he went up in front of them and said, let's change this with the city, remember that when he first started? Y'all was so busy hating that y'all didn't even come out. So now y'all want people to stand up with you. Well, what? You can't change anything that you're changing at the city level. If the state says we are governed by the state, but really it's a city. They really govern by the city, but you don't know this because you're stuck on the state. You got to get with the lawmakers. You cannot be out there with part-time people trying to make a change. It's not going to happen when you don't know procedures and protocol. Everything that your person is telling you to do, you should know. You should know every step that's happening. You know, and I want to say this before we go. One of the things that I've been very concerned about is the lack of support for domestic violence victims. I'm going to say it again, the lack of support for domestic violence victims. If I was to ask everyone, do you know somebody that's been a victim of domestic violence? 99% would raise their hand. And with what's going on now with people not being able to go out, it's increased dramatically. G.R.Y.L has been supporting domestic violence victims and services for the last 20 years. We didn't just jump out of here. We're doing self-empowerment. But we cannot continue to do what we do without the support of the community. We need the community to support us. We get no funding to do what we do, and we provide all of our services free of charge. We do anything from mentor to workshops to providing free youth programs on Saturdays. You know, we have a resource center that we were starting to get. We hope to have up and going in the next 2 weeks, but we had a contractor that took our money, and everybody thinks it's a joke, but it's not a joke. When somebody takes $2,500 from you, Jason Kendall, and then he laughs and makes posts about it, it's not a joke. But we know that God's going to take care of that. But we're in a dire need of a crisis now. We have young ladies that need personal hygiene supplies. People may not think that's a great deal, but when you live on a income of nearly nil to none, to take an extra $10 to $15 to buy personal hygiene stuff, and you don't have it. We have people that's been arrested because they're stealing personal hygiene. So what I'm asking everybody to do to help us, you know, we're going on a drive now for bras, panties, and personal hygiene. We need personal hygiene. We need bras and panties. We need new bras, new panties. We cannot take used bras and panties, but we need them now, and we need them like yesterday. When a young lady comes to you and says, "Miss E, I don't have any underwear," that says a lot, because to come to somebody to tell them something personal, what you don't have, that we want to be able to help them. So we're asking people if you could donate bras, panties, and personal hygiene. We will be over at 3836 Chestnut. You can, we'll be there all week. You can drop them off. You can also make a donation through PayPal, through G.R.Y.L, you know, and I have a birthday thing that's going on. You can donate there. If you can offer some labor to help us at this house, we greatly need that. You know, we need a roof. You know, there's a lot of stuff that we need. But we should not be asking people in our community to help us when we know what's going on. We know these girls, these women cannot go to shelters. Shelters are cutting off. They have to have a place to go. And I'm asking you to show some type of compassion in your heart for our sisters that don't have a place to go. They don't have a place to go. If we close our doors, for 5 to 6 months, that hurts a whole lot of people. A whole lot of people. If we close our doors for 5 to 6 months. And I've been seriously thinking about closing our doors for 5 to 6 months, because we can no longer take on that financial burden to help and give away our services without the support of the community, you know. And so that's why I've been asking people $5, $10. It means a lot, because if not, I'm going to have to make a financial decision to close our doors until the summer, because we cannot keep our doors open without no funds. It's not going to happen. So in order for us to continue to do what we're doing, I'm asking the community to help us. I'm asking the community to seriously come by and put in some work. You can reach me at G.R.Y.L, G-Y-R-L, Miss E, at gmail.com. And you can also call me at 816-622-2927. Thank you. Are we through?
All right. You're